So today we are going to talk about the lifeline again, but today we're going to talk about the position of the lifeline. And what I mean by position, is it going to be closer to the thumb or is it going to be closer to the moon? The ideal lifeline is supposed to start halfway between Jupiter and Mars negative, supposed to be nice and round and end on the print especially right in the middle of the hand. So it is supposed to keep the energy of the mount of Venus together. So no energy is wasted, and it also makes a perfect round line. So as we know from the previous video, it gives us a lot of harmony. Now, there can be cases where the arch, instead of being nice and round and covering really the bottom corner of the hand, it's actually squeezing the mount of Venus. So because it's squeezing it, it tends to make the line very straight instead of making it nice and round. So straight, goes against the flow. So the person tends to resist happiness. The life force is not used properly, and we lose our joie de vivre, the delight of being alive, which is what the lifeline is supposed to be all about. In this case, the next one, you can see that the person becomes more worried, because this is what happens when we are squeezing the mount of Venus. We are not enjoying life as much, so we tend to become isolated. There are lots of insecurities, so we may feel insecure about our financial situation, about our emotions, about our physical state, and we could have a lot of disappointment. We need to develop courage. So this is when the position of the line is too close to the thumb and squishing the mount of Venus. Now, sometimes the opposite is the arch is too wide, so it goes into the moon. So in this case, we are looking for adventure. We are always pushing the envelope. We are looking for excitement and stimulation, but at what price? Because when we push ourselves too much, we are not taking care of our body the way we should, the way the nice round lifeline should be. On the next illustration, I am going to share the story of somebody I met, and you can see his line, which is very much into the moon space. So this is a person who was always looking for challenges. So he did the Ironman triathlon several times. He was always looking for something to be the first one, to be the best one. And he told me that at one time he was finishing a solo crossing of the Atlantic. And he said he was just about to be finished. And he said it was the saddest moment of the whole race. He had been okay during the whole time he was crossing, even if he had some problems, but he was almost arriving, which was supposed to be the most wonderful time of the race, and it was the saddest for him. And why was it sad for him? Because he said, okay, it's over, what next? So this is what's happening when you have a very wide lifeline. We are so much into the stimulation that we tend to always be in the next step. and we don't enjoy what is happening now. And this is the problem with the position of the lifeline too far away from the thumb and too much into the moon. So in conclusion, we want the lifeline to be right where it's supposed to be. It has actually the right shape instead of being too much on one side, too much on the other. And when we have this type of line, we are always in the present moment. So we are not afraid of what may happen, which is more when we have a narrow arch. We are not looking for happiness somewhere else, which is when the arch is too wide. We are happy in the here and now. And this is what I wish for you. See you later.